Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today we will be discussing mean, median, mode, and range in psychology basics. So some terminology you should be familiar with before we start is that the mean is the average value of the presented data set that you have, which is found by adding all the numbers and dividing by the number of values present. The median is the middle value in a data set. The mode is the most frequently recurring value. And the range is the difference between the largest and smallest values in a data set. So why are these important in psychology? Well, they're important for a multitude of reasons. Mainly because that the criteria are essential when doing research in the field of the behavioral sciences, especially psychology. And that the data explained by these criteria will allow a better understanding of a specific topic in the behavioral sciences. For example, if you're assessing a student on their grades and looking for the correlation between the amount of time they're allowed to study versus the grade they make on their exam, these mathematical criteria will be utilized in coming up with the answer to your hypothesis. Does study time have an impact on grades on exams? So when it comes to calculating the mean, remember the mean is the average of the data set. So the first thing you do is you sum up the values in the data set, then take the sum and divide it by n. And n represents the number of values present in the data set. And the result is your mean. So for example, we'll have a data set of 5, 5, 10, 12, and 76. That's 5 numbers total. And when you add all 5 of these up, you get 108. You divide 108 by 5, which is 21.60, which is your mean. And do note in psychological statistics, you always want to have your answer meet the hundredths place. So 2 increments past the decimal need to be present. 21.6 would not be the appropriate answer. You would still need to add that 0, even if the 0 is unnecessary. When you're calculating the median, you need to arrange the values in the data set in order from greatest to least. This will make calculating the median more simple for you. You scratch through each value until you reach the middle value, or the median. Now do note that if no median is directly present, sum the 2 numbers closest to the median, then divide them by 2, which will be your median. So if you have an even set of numbers, and your numbers closest to the median are 4 and 4, you sum up 4 plus 4, which is 8. You divide 8 by 2, which is 4. So 4 happens to be the median, even though it is not directly present. So here's an example of median where it is not necessary to sum up the closest numbers and divide by 2. So we'll use the same data set as we did with the mean. We scratch out the numbers. Now I put these in order from least to greatest, but you can do greatest to least. So 5 and 5 were scratched out, 12 and 76 were scratched out, which means our median is 10. Remember, median stands for the middle value in a data set. Now let's discuss the mode, which is the most frequently recurring number in a data set, the most frequently recurring value. First, you need to take a careful look at the data set. Identify repeating values, any value that repeats. Then you identify the most repetitive value. And the most repetitive value is your mode. So an example of mode, we take a look at the same data set. 5, 5, 10, 12, and 76. The mode equals 5. Why? Because 5 occurs twice in this data set. Now let's say 5 occurred twice, but 76 occurred 3 times. Well, in that instance, 76 would be our mode, because 76 repeated itself more than 5 did. Now for the range. Arrange the values from greatest to least. This is necessary for range. It must be greatest to least. Take the greatest value and find the difference between it and the smallest value. And the answer is your range. So an example of range, we have our same data set, which I should have reordered. I apologize for that. But 76 is our greatest value, 5 is our smallest. 76 minus 5 is 71. And 71 is our range. Remember, range, greatest value, find the difference between the greatest value and the smallest value. So I hope that this video helped clarify mean, median, mode, and range for you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section. Be sure to like and subscribe to this video. And I will see you in my next video.